You got the offer. The role is yours pending reference checks. Most candidates treat reference checks as a formality. They send their list. They wait. The offer arrives. They start. That is the assumption. And that is exactly why so many candidates have offers withdrawn at the reference stage and never understand why. Reference checks are not a formality. They are real evaluation. And what HR actually does with them is different from what most candidates assume. Here is the reference reality. This is what the talent. Let me name what's actually happening when HR or a hiring manager calls your references. They are not checking that you worked there. That is verified through employment verification, a separate process. They are not asking generic questions about whether you are good. They are doing something specific. They are testing the picture of you that emerged in the interview process. The interview surfaced certain themes. Your strengths. Your management style. How you handle pressure. How you collaborate. The areas you said you've grown in. The challenges you said you've overcome. Reference checks test whether the people who know your work describe the same person the interviewer met. If the picture matches, the reference confirms what they already believed. If the picture doesn't match, the reference raises questions. And the questions are what cost candidates offers. The questions HR asks references tend to fall into 5 categories. Category 1: Verification of role and tenure. This is the easy part. Confirming you worked there in the capacity you stated for the duration you stated. Category 2: Strengths confirmation. Can you give me an example of strength X in action? Where X is something you cited in the interview. The reference is being asked to confirm what you said with specific evidence. If they cannot, that's a flag. Category 3: Performance pattern. How would you rate their overall performance compared to others in similar roles? The reference is being asked to calibrate you against the broader population. Categorical answers, excellent or great without specifics, often raise concern. Specific answers, in the top 15% I've worked with examples, are what HR is looking for. Category 4: Working style and culture fit. How did they handle disagreement with you? How did they manage difficult team members? What kind of environment do they thrive in? These questions are testing whether you'll work well in the specific culture of the new organization. Category 5: The growth question. What's an area where they have room to develop? The reference cannot say nothing, that's a flag. A genuine answer about growth area is expected and respected. If the reference dodges this, HR notes it. Let me name the patterns I have seen derail otherwise strong candidates. Pattern 1: The unprepared reference. The reference is contacted unexpectedly. They haven't talked to the candidate in 2 years. They cannot remember specific examples. They give generic responses that sound rehearsed. HR notes the lack of specificity and the offer becomes uncertain. Pattern 2: The over-prepared reference. The candidate briefed the reference so heavily that the answers sound scripted. Different references using identical language raises legitimate concerns about coordination. HR notices. Pattern 3: The wrong reference. The candidate selected references who don't actually know the work being evaluated. A reference from a different function cannot speak to the candidate's specific role-relevant capabilities. The reference may speak well but says nothing useful. Pattern 4: The reference who doesn't return calls. Slow or unresponsive references delay the entire offer process. HR may interpret this as a candidate who doesn't manage their relationships well. Pattern 5: The reference who gives a mixed signal. Most damaging. Not actively negative, but with hesitation. Pauses. Caveats. Well. Followed by extended silence. One mixed signal often kills offers more reliably than two negative ones. 5 steps to prepare references properly. Step 1. Ask before listing. Always ask permission before naming someone as a reference. Always confirm they're willing to give a positive reference. A direct question: would you be comfortable giving me a strong reference? If there's any hesitation, that's information. Use a different reference. Step 2. Match the reference to the role. Different roles need different references. Senior leadership roles need senior-level references who can speak to leadership capacity. Technical roles need technical references who worked with you on the specific work. Don't reuse the same reference list for every application. Customize. Step 3. Brief them on the role, without scripting them. Send your references a short summary. I'm interviewing for X role at Y company. Here's the job description. Here are the specific things I emphasized in my interview. Brief list of 3 to 4 strengths and themes. This gives them context to provide useful answers without telling them what to say. The difference matters. Step 4. Time the request. Reference checks usually happen within 1 to 2 weeks of the offer being extended. Reach out to your references the moment you have a serious offer in process. A reference who gets a heads up is significantly more prepared than one who gets a cold call. Step 5. Thank them after. Always follow up after the reference check is complete. Thank them. Tell them the outcome. This is professional courtesy. It also keeps the relationship warm for the next time you need references. Reference checks are not a formality. They are real evaluation. The candidate who treats references seriously, who chooses the right people, briefs them properly, matches them to the role, and follows up afterward is the candidate who consistently converts offers into starts. The candidate who treats references as paperwork is the candidate whose offers occasionally evaporate at the reference stage for reasons they never fully understand. Comment reference below if this is changing how you'll handle references going forward. This is what the talent. The move is yours.